This wasn't something that I initially planned on watching, but the right wingers, the conservatives, they hated it. So, and of course, we know why, and you know what that means for me. And I said the same thing about Barbie and some others. Now, there are a number of comparisons and contrasts between this and the original. So here's the brief synopsis by Google. The youngest of King Triton's daughters, Ariel, is a beautiful and spirited young mermaid with a thirst for adventure, longing to find out more about how the world beyond the sea. She visits the surface and falls for a dashing prince, Eric. Following her heart, she makes a deal with the evil sea witch, Ursula, to experience life on land. Very much the same as the plot in the original. Now, I will say that, well, first of all, we already know this is obvious that there were some changes. I think the first and foremost thing is that the main character is black in this one instead of white. She's played by Halle Bailey. I got to make sure I have to keep saying that name to get it straight because sometimes I've accidentally said Halle Berry. Totally different person. So no, it's Halle Bailey. And the seagull was a female in this one instead of a male. Now, I'll tell you what I did not see in this movie because I think some people on the right had made some wrongful assumptions. There were no, at least I didn't see any, unless they probably were in the background somewhere, like extras. I didn't see any transgenders in here, so that's not a legit criticism here. I was like, okay, so they're not here, but you have a black girl in there, so that's problematic enough for them. Let's see. I think the actors and actresses in here did a good job. I have to say you had Melissa McCarthy playing Ursula, and then you had Javier Bardem playing Triton, Halle Berry as Ariel, Jessica Alexander as Vanessa, Awkwafina as Scuttle, David Diggs as Sebastian, and Jacob Tremblay as Flounder. Okay. The ratings on it were 59, 67, and 72 from Metacritic, Rotten Tomatoes, and Internet Movie Database. From Google, you have the Google users is 54 to 68%. Now, before I get into Common Sense Media and how they break it down, let me just read one of the negatives on here. And I was looking just to see if I find something on them criticizing it on the reason that I believe at heart that they're criticizing the movie. Let's just see what this, here's one right here. This guy says, to anyone who is planning on seeing this movie, I'd highly recommend to just wait until it comes out on Disney Plus or something so you don't waste your money, which is exactly what I did. I went to see the movie because of my daughter, and we can both say that this movie did not live up to our expectations. Furthermore, we both did not enjoy the majority of the movie at all. Okay, that's fair. That's your opinion. The first thing that majorly bugged my daughter and I was all the unnecessary changes that they made to the movie. Like what? They took everything out that made the original so beautiful. Prince Eric never had parents in the original. His father passed away before the movie starts, and that's why Grimsby is desperately helping him look for a wife so he could become king and continue his father's duties. Why now all of a sudden insert his parents into the movie? Ariel and Eric had absolutely no chemistry at all. Their relationship the entire movie seemed extremely awkward and forced. As for the music changes, they absolutely infuriated me. It was completely unnecessary to have all these new lyrics. Okay, now see, that I can't remember off top. It's been a long time since I've seen the original, but I kind of remember most of it because I used to watch it all the time as a kid. So, I mean, I don't know. It's hard for me to agree or disagree with that one. Why have Ariel sing? Okay, let me see. The next thing I must criticize is the CGI and the visuals for this movie. The entire film from start to finish was extremely dark and gloomy. Well, the CGI and the visual. Okay, well, number one, we are in 2023, and this isn't 1989 anymore, so that might have something to do with it. And seeing that the movie was dark and gloomy. Well, it did take place underwater, and like this didn't take place at some. I mean, this wasn't like on land in broad daylight. So, I mean, of course, if you go all the way down and down, I mean, there's no sunlight. There's no, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I think some of that is overthought, but maybe I'm missing something. Sebastian, Scuttle, and Flounder all look terrifying. I mean, I guess if you take something that is obviously computer animated but looks real, you take that and compare that to the cartoon version. I mean, I guess there's your difference right there. I guess maybe I can give you that one on the flounder part. Maybe the lobster part too. The seagull, that I don't see much of a difference there. Let me see. She looked very awkward and non-realistic swimming around with her weirdly orange hair. Okay. Here's how Common Sense Media broke it down. Positive messages. Is there an educational value? Viewers might pick up on the names of all the world sees, thanks to Triton's daughters. Many sea creatures are also mentioned by name. Positive messages. Promotes courage, curiosity, empathy, explores the importance of not believing an entire group of people is evil or careless simply because some of them may have behaved poorly or been violent. Oh, we can't plant that message because that's woke. Emphasizes power of connection and alliance building. The story still focuses on romance and sacrificing aspects of yourself to pursue romance, but Triton also tells Ariel straight out that you shouldn't have to give up your voice to be heard. Significantly, this version takes time to show that Ariel and Eric building a genuine connection with each other. And it encourages honest communication between parents and young adult children. Oh, you mean like they actually have conversation, which is what, unfortunately, a lot of families in real life, we don't have conversations with our parents. It's just, it's a one-sided conversation. But hey, I'm glad this movie demonstrated that. Let me see. Is she a positive role model? She's brave. She's smart, curious, kind, as well as a bit impulsive. She makes a deal with Ursula without really thinking the consequences through. Yeah. Eric is courageous, thoughtful, open-minded, loyal. He wants to explore the world beyond his island kingdom, to forge alliances and to support innovation. They both view their relationship as a way to bridge their worlds. Triton and Selena, Queen Selena, are each protective of their children and don't want them to be in danger. Oddly enough, I don't even remember that character, but I must have. Okay. Sebastian, Flounder, and Scuttle can be silly, but are devoted to Ariel and aim to help her. Grimsby is faithful to the crown and encourages Eric to give Ariel a chance as a possible love interest. I personally feel that I'd give it about there's a part of me feels like it's about a 9, but my personal take is I give it like 8.5, because it seemed very much identical without if you want to take away like certain things like, oh, this person was originally a male and now is a female, and now this person was white and is now black. If you take away those obvious factors, the movies are roughly the same, roughly identical. Let's see. Families can talk to your kids about, families can talk about the changes between this version and the original version. What changes did you like and what could you have done without? As far as what I could have done without, I mean, I really can't answer that. None of it, really. I mean, I think it was just pretty all right. Something for the family and the kids to enjoy and just whatnot. Here we go. Here we go. I found it. Why do you think some people complained about Halle Bailey being cast as Ariel? I'm not sure. I'm just not sure. I don't know. I'm going to have to look into that one. I'm going to have to look into that and investigate that. Let me see why they're complaining about it. Let's ask people and let's see what they have to say. If mermaids are fantasy creatures, does it matter what the race of the actors who play them is? I would say no. That's just my take. How did casting Bailey help support diverse representation in the media? Well, I would say a lot of black people and women will pretty much give you the same answer, which is, hey, it's about diversity. It's about inclusion. Hey, put more, especially like new and upcoming women and new and upcoming black actors who want to get their names and faces out there, recognition purposes. And by the way, the movie so it also grossed a lot more than what most people thought too. So I was thinking at first, like, okay, this probably would gross around maybe 250 million, maybe 300 at best, 300 million at best. So the budget on this film was 297 million. The box office is $570 million. So $30 million more dollars than they would be at 600, which is still pretty good for them. It was still a success. Now, are they going to do a sequel? I don't know. I haven't looked into all that. I haven't really got deep into it like that. I don't really study this stuff to the same degree that I do with like the horror films and, you know, the comedies, the action thrillers and stuff like that. So other than that, I would say that this is something that, you know, if your kids haven't seen this, it's a good little thing for the family to enjoy, the, you know, the kids, the teens, whatever. So I think it was pretty well done. It was pretty all right. So like and subscribe. I got more coming.